Hello, this dreadfully boring Sunday afternoon. I'm going back to bed. Not sleep, I've got books. Just lie on the bed. There's a book by James Herriot, The Yorkshire Vet, and a book on psychic investigations. I love reading, yeah. But as I said, not into fiction. Once upon a time, da-di-da, happy ever after. No, I like fact. And plenty of light on the proceedings. But it's been a nice day, as the forecasters said, and Easter has arrived early at Tesco. I bought a pack of 6 hot cross buns, used by date 21st of November. I suppose hot cross buns are very nice at any time of the year, with best butter, which I shouldn't eat, I know. But I do love best butter, and I can't stand the cheap substitutes. No. Now, I said earlier, it's like you saying, calm down, Pete. You shut your gob. No offence. I said these people who subscribe to your channel, but they haven't got a YouTube account themselves, I said they never comment. Well, of course they can't, can they? If they haven't got a YouTube account, they cannot click like or dislike or comment. And quite right, YouTube won't do anything about it. As who was it said, Steve, Google are in trouble anyway, because they run YouTube now. It's run by Google, and they've been paying tax, have they? Bastards. But going back to the trolley buses, I haven't made any notes, so working from memory. Electric, and like these electric mobility scooters, in very wet weather they can malfunction. And on the 39 bus route one morning, going way back, I left the terminus down here with my conductor Mar Hill, he used to call him Mar, and morning rush hour, everybody going into the city from Clarkson Square to Woolton Park via the city, and pulled up at Garden Avenue. The bloke stood holding his hand out, and he got on. I waited for the bell, ding ding. I didn't get it, looked in the near side mirror, and Mal was out on the pavement remonstrating with him. I thought, God, not this time in the morning, about 9 o'clock. So I put the heavy duty parking brake on and walked round the back. And this bloke had gone to get on the bus, because the old trolley buses had the open platform at the back, and of course you had the conductor who took the fares, and the bloke went to get on the bus, got hold of the bar, and knocked him back against the wall. Electric shock. He stood there shaking. I said, look, get on the bus, but don't touch the bar or you're going to earth the bus. No, I'm not getting on it. I said, look, Mal, show him. So I said, just step on the bus, don't touch the bar, and he stepped on it and stepped off, and I did. I said, there you go. No way. And the other passengers on the bus started to panic. Oh, I don't want to get electric shock. So went on the intercom, called the depot at Lower Parliament Street, and sent another bus out. Of course, trolley buses, to overtake the other buses, they had to take the poles off and creep round using the big heavy duty built-in batteries, and I took my poles off. What it was, you had a long bamboo cane under the bus with a hook on the end, and on the big poles, on the overhead wires, there was a loop, and you put the hook in the loop, and I pulled the poles down. Eventually the bus came round and they changed, all the passengers got off. Is this one going to be alright? I said, yeah, don't worry about it, it'll be fine. And it's pissing down. And one afternoon, coming down Sherwood Rise on the 36th route, I think, from Sherwood Rise into the city, where's my hands? You're alright going along with the trolley bus as long as it's straight, but then if the wires go the other way, like if the road's got a bit of a bend, then the wires go the other way, you have to be careful because the poles can come off. At the end of the poles, it was like a big heavy cup, which the large springs held the poles up, and the cup sat in the wire, and if the poles came off, then the poles used to go up because of the heavy springs. Well, I came hammering down Sherwood Rise, the poles came off, and of course the poles went up, and all these supporting wires went ching 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 and it pulled the lot down, pulled all the wiring down. and they had to come out from the depot at Parliament Street. My fag's gone out, and it stopped the service. And once again at the depot, driver Dale, report to Mr. Bunce's office. My file got thicker. He said, I really don't know what to do with you. I'll give you one final warning, and God knows how many final warnings he'd given me, but they couldn't get drivers at that time. They just couldn't get a driver and put him on a trolley bus because you had to be trained. And I should have wrote some notes down. Hang on. So that was another final warning. At the Carlton terminus here, the trolley buses, like the buses now, turn left up Cavendish Road, and now there's a large police station on the left with public toilets opposite. It's a wide road, so the trolley buses used to do a U-turn and pull up over there, and drivers and conductors used to walk up to the toilet, and little Albert Brown, the local strange gentleman hanging about there, so he used to say, "Phew, not going in there," him waiting for his customers. So we used to have a pee behind this tree and it started to stink, and if Albert dared to come down, he was swiftly told to go away. 2 words associated with sex and travel. Of course he's long gone now. Eventually, of course, they changed the city of Nottingham, so all the wiring had to come down, and they got the motor buses, AECs, I love them, and the big Leylands with the crash gearbox. Oh dear, oh God. Leaving Queen Street on the 41 route to Cinder Hill, it was a hill on Queen Street, well it still is. You pulled away, you know, in first gear, boom, then crunching the gears, synchro-mesh gears, forget it. And someone told me the secret, and I practiced it, and I got quite good at it. When you had a full load of passengers on, like on the evening rush hour, you pulled away in first gear, but as soon as it started moving, bang, you just pull the gear lever back into second gear, straight through, like slicing through butter. And then we had to stop at the top of Queen Street, and the police officer waved us on once again, pulled away first gear, just got the bus rolling, and bang, straight back. And of course, you know, oh yeah, who often knows how to handle these gearboxes? You other CUNTs don't. Of course, you know, it's just a matter of practice. Yeah. Now then, eventually, they got these new buses that you use now. They got rid of all the conductors, and the driver now has to deal with everything. Take some money, but you've got to make sure you got your right fare. And of course, these new buses have got power steering, automatic gearbox, and all the women are driving them, aren't they? Now, when I first started driving trucks, I have mentioned this before, I do know, on the old bangers going up and down Scotland and all over the country, in the old Atkinson with a 180 Gardner diesel engine. They were originally designed as a marine engine, extremely reliable, and the ZX crash gearbox, and no power steering. You have to get your arse out of the seat and heave the steering around when I were carrying 20 ton of Staten Island work pipes up to Nick Bay, north of Inverness, when they were building the oil rig bases. No power steering, synchro-mesh gears, the old crash box, and a very heavy clutch, and as I said, at the end of the day, after pressing that up and down a number of times, your left knee used to hurt. Now of course the women could not have handled those monsters, and if you had a front wheel blowout, like the front near side tyre, if that blew while you were loaded, the hot cross bum was repeating, the steering wheel would yank to the left, and you had to use real muscle power and hold on to it and try to pull it straight, otherwise you would have gone straight in the hedge bottom or hit a grass bank or a lamppost. So these women's livers these days, you know, we can do anything you men can do, even better. Yeah, well, they couldn't have handled those monsters. Even the old buses, no power steering, and the crash gearbox and the very heavy clutch. So, you know, dare be a chauvinist and say in those days, oh dear, Lord forgive me for saying this, in those days the women were in their rightful place in the kitchen or in bed with their legs open. Oh dear, what a terrible thing to say. I'm joking, ladies, I am joking. Please understand it's me being a bit chauvinist, and I'm only joking. Of course I am. And it was apparently now all the Nottingham buses are at a museum up in Doncaster, where I'd like to go. It'd be nice to see those old buses again. Yeah, there was a series with the big green double-decker bus, 2 axles at the back and the steering axle at the front, and started at 501, 500 was it, or 501, up to 524, and I loved 524. That was a good bus. They were all the same, but you know, they all had their own individual temperament kind of thing. And with them being electric, when I was coming up Carlton Road from the city, heading back towards Carlton, you stopped at Porchester Road, and you got the bell, ding ding, pulled away, and you press your foot down, you heard the contacts going in, click, 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 as the bus picked up speed, and the circuit breakers used to blow, 2 of them in the cab with an enormous bang, and it shattered my nerves. I used to put my elbow on one and hold the other one with my hand as I pulled away, and when the circuit, if you tried to do it a bit too fast, or if it was very heavy with 50 odd passengers on, they'd blow, but then with holding them it didn't go with a bang, it just went with a loud click. And oh dear, nah, something came to my mind a few minutes ago and it's just swiftly gone. Yeah, I can't pause a video, you see, that's the trouble. Yeah, when you yeah, that's right, that's about all I'll say about trolley buses, because there's not really a lot more of interest to say. But when it came to the end, when they started to get rid of them, all the trolleybus enthusiasts used to get on, and there's a window where the conductor, if he weren't very busy, he'd open the window, stick his head in the cab as they were driving along, we'd have a chat with all the enthusiasts used to. And I didn't mind, you know, they're asking questions about them, you know, they were also there taking photos, and it was the end of an era. Of course, when I was born in 1939, while I was a child, it was the trams used to come down here, but then they got the trolley buses, as I say, eventually motor buses, and now the flash things they've got now with a little knob, at least not a little knob now, it's automatic gearboxes now, but it used to be started off with a little knob, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then over to open the doors. Of course now, oh yeah, that's right, that's it. Oh dear, people say it's cold, I'm bloody sweating, let me put the fan on. But it's very warm in here, very warm. It was last night, and I've got no heating on because directly below me, I have said before, I've got the heated community centre. It's not as hot now as it used to be because I've put new heaters in, but it's still very warm in there, and of course heat rises, don't it? And it saves me a fortune in heating costs. I'll put my central heating on if and when it gets really cold, or if I'm not feeling very well, which doesn't often happen. Washed my hair last night and I can't do a thing with it. Yeah, and it's getting rather long. The granddaughter don't come down here now, so I'll probably get her to cut it on at Christmas when I go to my daughter's for Christmas dinner. Anything else to say? Well, not really. I am doing a lot of reading now. It's always been my best subject, reading and music. And I did tell you, for those of you who haven't been with me long, always had a great interest in music, and one day in the school hall played this piece of music. We all stood there and wanted the composer, and I knew who the composer was. Beethoven? No. I said, sir. Handel? No. I said, sir. Put my hand up. Schumann? No. He says, yes, Dale. I says, Chopin. God. The school exploded in laughter. Chop as in pork chop. And when teacher got his hanky out, when he finished wiping his eyes, he says, well, you're right, but actually it's pronounced Chopin. I was horrified. I knew I was right. I knew it was Chopin. I didn't know it pronounced Chopin. How embarrassing. So no doubt Rob's had his Sunday roast again. Perhaps he's cooked it himself today, eh? You never know. Me and Dave have to cook ours, don't we? Yeah. My mother died, God knows how many years ago. Oh, she's long gone. Same as father. He's long gone. Now I've told you this, haven't I? How many? I better go. It's gone on too long. Something I'll tell you later. Right, that's it. Bye.